Hey everybody, it's Kaylee. I am coming on to share with you my sales from last week, last Sunday through this previous Saturday. So if you are interested in seeing what sold on both eBay and Poshmark, then just stay tuned. Okay guys, so I'm going to start on eBay. That's where the bulk of my sales came from. In total, I had 35 items sell between the two platforms, and on eBay, those were 26 of those items. Now, these sales are from last week, January 19th through January 25th. I will say I'm used to sales being a little heavier in January, but I'm seeing that pretty much everybody's sales are down as far as clothing resellers go. So if your sales are also down, don't get discouraged because it's happening to almost everybody right now, and all we can do is what we can control, which is listing more, getting better items, and giving better descriptions and quality. So I am doing all of those things to the best of my ability, and hopefully sales will start to pick up. So on eBay for last week, like I said, I sold 26 items for a gross sales total of $896.18. This made my average sale price on eBay $34.47, and then my total cost of goods for the eBay items was $112. The first item are these pair of Lucky Brand men's 227 original bootcut jeans. I do like picking up Lucky Brand when they are a more modern style, or at least a desirable style. So these ones were the 227. I paid $4.99 for these originally. I had them listed for $29.99. Someone sent me an offer of $26.99, which I accepted. If you've seen some of my other what sold videos, you've probably seen this dress before. I think I've sold a total of like 3 or 4 of them now. It's by Zara. Most of the time I'm finding it new with tags, but I'm able to sell them for about $50, $55 usually. And these are new with tags. So I've sold this one in the past, so I knew I would be able to get roughly $50 for it. So that is what I listed it for. I had it listed for $55. I originally paid $10 for this dress, and knowing that I've sold them in the past is why I paid up $10. And I sent out best offers to my watchers, and someone accepted an offer of $49.50. It's women's Flawless 5-pocket straight curvy jeans. These are pretty good. I mean, they have a decent sell-through rate on eBay. Paid $3 for this one. Now, I will say that they don't go for as much as my other jeans do, and you'll see down here I have free shipping included, and that cost me as a seller, I forget what it is with the discount. It's like $7.30 or something like that. So a little over $7. So I only made about $20 less my cost of the item at $3. So I, gross made about $17 off of that. But I do like picking these up because they are a quick flip. So if I can find them for pretty cheap, I will go ahead and pick these up. And again, these are the Talbot's Flawless 5-pocket jeans. Another pair of jeans, I also paid $3 for these. These are a men's Banana Republic jean, and they were called the travel jeans. Normally I would have a picture of the style name on the inside, but somebody was helping me do pictures, so that's why it's not listed here. This one I also had free shipping on because, again, it has a high sell-through rate, but, I can't demand a whole lot for them. So I paid $3 for these, and I sold them at $33 with free shipping. This next one is like an art to wear piece. I don't usually have my main photo at this angle, but I did this because of the embroidery on the side. Because it's an art to wear jacket, it is going to be purchased by a more specific buyer looking for these kind of items, and I didn't think that the front of it did it justice, so that's why I did this angle, but I don't usually do that. So this was a kind of like just a zip fleece jacket. by Bob Mackie, and you can see underneath it says wearable art, so they specialize in a lot of art to wear pieces. I paid $2.50 for this. I think I got it on a half off day at Salvation Army, and I had it listed for $39.99 with a best offer. Someone sent me $30, which I thought was fair, and I went ahead and accepted. This was an item out of a reseller mystery box. I'm not going to say who I got it from, but unfortunately every mystery reseller box I've purchased, and I've purchased a few from different people, I'm just always disappointed in them. And I mean, I get it, because you know, if it was something really good, they would just keep it to sell for themselves, but I just feel like I don't get as great of items in those boxes as I pay for. So total cost of goods for that box, and then divided out based on the number of pieces I had, I paid $8.33 for each one. So this is one of those items I couldn't demand more money for it, because it's just a black tank top by Silence and Noise. So I listed it for $14.99, and I also had to include free shipping because that was about the going rate for it. So paid $8.33 and sold for $14.99 with free shipping. Did not make a lot of money off of this, but lesson learned, I more than likely will not be picking up reseller boxes. If you've picked up some and you think that they are worth it, drop in the comments below which ones that you have picked up that work for you, because so far I've not found any that I like. This one is an older piece. It's by Broadway and Broom, which is a brand that Madewell sells. Here is the tag right here. This was a size 4. I picked it up because I found out that it was by Madewell and it was all silk. So I picked it up. It was a pretty design. I picked it up at the bins, so I paid probably like 50 cents or lower for it because it was super lightweight since it's silk. Had it listed for $24.99, but as you can tell from the background, I've had it for a while. So someone sent me an offer for $15, which I accepted to get it moved. Another pair of jeans. I paid $4.99 for these, knowing that they were going to be a quick flip. I sold them for $20, and buyer paid shipping on these. And these are just the ones that are like in the store right now. They're kind of like a guy's version of jeggings. Super stretchy, really movable material, and they have them in a couple different styles. This one's the original straight. If you find these at a cheap cost, they do flip very quickly if you're pricing them around $20. Normally I wouldn't say invest $5 and flip it into $20, but if it's going to move this quickly, it's totally worth it to me. So I paid $5 and buyer paid $20. Here's another one I've had for a really long time and would not pick up something like this again. I think I paid like $4 for it originally, and it's just a NASCAR men's button-up shirt. Had the AMP logo spell out on it. NASCAR tag. I don't know. I wouldn't pick it up again. Back then I picked it up just because it had a big spell out and that was popular at the time. I have this listed for $15.99. At this point, I'm just trying to move it, so I accepted a best offer that someone sent for $12. These are a pair of women's 951 relaxed jean shorts. So these aren't cutoffs. These are actual like made from Levi's shorts. And here is the tag here. I have been sitting on these for a little while, and I'm actually surprised that they sold in the colder weather, but nonetheless, I'm happy about that. I picked these up for $3 and they sold for $22. This was an international sale through the eBay's global shipping program. So what you see here, the buyer paid that shipping plus additional shipping. So I don't know. Honestly, Retrofit isn't really a brand that I see a lot of, nor would I go to pick up. Here's the tag. However, I picked this up because I knew that the style was on trend. So you may be able to tell if you look closely that this is a distressed sweater, and it's intentionally made that way. And distressed sweaters are really in right now. When I find them in a good enough condition, I will pick them up, and I usually sell them for about $25. So for this one, I had it listed for $25 and it did sell for full price. Again, I paid $2.99. This was a pickup from Plato's Closet. I paid $5 for this. I knew it would flip quickly, but I didn't know for how much. This is just a Vineyard Vines men's shirt, and honestly, it was pretty well worn in. The graphics are kind of like crackly, but I thought overall it gave it a pretty cool vibe. I knew that this would flip quickly, so I paid $5 at clearance sale on Plato's clearance sale, and I had it listed for $22. I sent out offers to watchers, and someone accepted $19.80. I got these a while ago. I don't even remember what haul it is. It's from a while back. But I picked up a biker lot from my local Goodwill. It had a lot of like Harley Davidson shirts, but then also stuff that wasn't Harley Davidson. And you can't, like, you're not allowed to open the case and look through everything. So just whatever's on the surface is like what you're allowed to look at and what you get. It's a glass case that's locked. So I saw a lot of Harley Davidson, and I saw these boots in that lot, and I thought that they were Harley Davidson. So I picked up the entire lot. I estimate for each piece I paid about $2. It took me a while to get these actually listed. I don't know why, but they sat around in my death pile. And here's the logo. It doesn't say anywhere what brand it is, but they are leather, like, motorcycle boots that were in pretty good condition. Could not figure out what the brand was. I tried searching numbers and looking at that logo. Couldn't find anything, so I went ahead and just listed them unbranded. And not too long after I listed them, finally, out of my death pile, they sold within a couple of days. So I paid $2 for these, and I had them listed for $39.99. Someone accepted a best offer of $35.99. Another pair of those American Eagle men's Next Level jeans. So I said this like a couple of items ago, but these are the exact same thing, and they're just in a little bit different color. And again, you see they sell quickly at $20. I also paid $4.99 for these. I think I picked them up during the same thrift haul. I think I ended up getting like 3 or 4 of these. So, you know, this just goes to show if you come across these, they are a quick flip, so make sure you pick them up. I've had these for a really, really long time. I think I paid about $1 for them. I think I got them at the bins. The brand is called Hey Hey or Hi Hi. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. Here is the tag. This is a brand by Anthropologie, and they're just a pair of jogger pants. Really lightweight. I thought they were cute. I picked them up because they were Anthropologie and they were only $1. Have been sitting on these for a little while. I had them listed for $28.99, and a buyer sent out an offer for $25, which I accepted. Picked this jacket up not too long ago. I paid up at $10 for this jacket, but I knew that it would go quickly. Whenever you find, first of all, down puffer jackets, you know, that's a good indicator that it's a quality item, and you should look up the brand with down puffer jacket and see what comps look like. This brand is called Marmot. And then in addition to that, if you find one that has this right here with the, see how this says 700 fill? So that is like the warmth weight of the filling that's inside of the jacket, and people are looking for that. So if you find something that is a down jacket that has a number and then fill, which I think this one's like one of the lower quality, but if you see a number and then fill, it's probably worth something, so you should do some comps on it. So based on those factors, I knew that this was something good to pick up because I have sold Marmot before. So I picked it up for $10. I had it listed for $75, and it sold for full price. I wanted to also say really quickly on down puffer jackets, because I know I talk about them a lot. If you don't know what down is, it's basically duck feathers. So there's feathers inside of this jacket. Now, if you look at my item description right here, I just wanted to point this out. Whenever I list a down jacket and I notice that there is like the feather peeking through the jacket, just know that that is totally normal for that kind of material. And that's different if there's like a laceration in the jacket and then the feathers are poking through. But if they're just poking through where normal seams are and they're barely showing, that is normal, and sometimes your buyers don't understand that. So I've had somebody return one to me in the past because of that, and they didn't understand that that's normal for down jackets. So Holes in the jacket, lacerations with feathers coming out is not normal, but seeing a couple spots peeking through is normal for down. So if you look at my description here, I always put that sentence whenever I see down peeking through the jacket. That way the buyer's not surprised when they get the item. Moving on, these are a pair of Fry Women's Sarah Shorty booties. That is the style name. They're just a black suede ankle boot. They had a little bit of wear on the suede, but overall they were in really great condition. Pretty much anytime I find Fry, I pick it up. Here it is. If you've never heard of Fry, excellent brand to pick up as long as you find something in good condition. I would search the style number on the inside. That way you can figure out whether it's worth paying up for or not, because certain styles do demand way more money than what these boots sold for. So these were kind of just a basic boot by them. I paid $4 and I had them listed for $30 and they sold at full price. Gonna be honest, I don't actually know what the brand of this is called. I'm not sure if it's Lin Blanc, which you see at the beginning here, or if it's Luigi Moda, which you see at the end of the description, and I'll show you why, but I just found this in the dress section of a Goodwill when I was on a thrifting trip, and it stuck out to me as like a lag and look piece. So I went ahead and looked it up. This is a jumpsuit, not a dress, but it's really oversized. Whenever I see anything funky or interesting, I'll usually look it up. So here is what was on the back collar inside of these overalls. It says 100% Lin Blanc, which I almost think is another language for linen. But then also on the tag inside, it said Luigi Moda. So I'm not sure what the actual brand name is, but I put both in just in case. One might be the style name, maybe, you know, both have something to do with the branding. But if you come across either one of these, I'd say it's worth picking up. They seem to do well on eBay, and they tend to have linen pieces. So I picked this one up for $4.99 at a Goodwill. I had it listed for $29.99 and I accepted a best offer of $26.99. And it looks like I did give free shipping on this one, and I was trying to move it because I have been sitting on it for a few months. This one did not last long at all in my store, and I feel like I probably should have priced it higher. So I picked this up for $3.99 very recently. I picked it up because it has a Leonard Skinner spell out on the back of the shirt. The reason I was cautious about the pricing is because it says NetJets on the front, which I believe is a company branding. And I didn't see any comps for a 2019 Leonard Skinner tour. So I wasn't sure what I should sell it for. So I figured I'd throw it up for $25, which is what I had it listed at. And I accepted a best offer of $22.50. Again, I feel like I probably could have sold it for more, but I'm glad to see it go. This is the Tommy Hilfiger Women's Plaid Windbreaker hoodie. I picked this up just because I really like the collar details on it, and it felt very crisp, like it had hardly been worn. There was a very small spot on it, which you can see I pointed out here, but other than that, I mean, it felt like it was practically brand new, had hardly been worn. And again, I really like the classic Tommy Hilfiger collars on it. Did take a little while to sell though. I paid $6.50 for it. I had it listed for $34.99 or best offer, but it did end up selling at full price, $34.99. I like to pick up Torrid super soft knit tops when I can get them at the bins. So I believe that's where I got this. I paid about $1 for it. This was just a peplum baby doll top, and I mean, a couple brands do this where they have like a line called like super soft or soft and sexy like American Eagle does, and they tend to be a pretty popular line in all of those brands. So I keep an eye out for tops like this. So this one's the Torrid super soft knits. I think if you get them for cheap, like I said, at the bins with a good print on them, you can flip them pretty quickly. So I paid about $1, probably a little less, honestly. Had it listed for $15.99 and it sold at full price. These are a pair of men's Zara slim straight jeans. Now, I pick these up because they have that selvage denim, which is like basically raw denim. So if you ever come across denim that looks like this, I would put selvage or raw or both in your title because this is a pretty popular style right now. And I paid $2.99 for these. I had them listed at $38 and I sent out offers to watchers. Someone accepted an offer of $34.20. This is another bread and butter item for me that I like to pick up. American Eagle men's cargo shorts. I like to pick them up in a lot of different colors, but the tan ones are tried and true sellers. So this one I paid $4.99 for, and again, you know, here's shorts selling in the colder months, but as long as you get something with a really good sell-through, there's somebody out there looking for them. As you can see here, this one did have a bit of a flaw. It is missing its button. I noted that in the description as well as showed it in the picture here. But even with that, they still sold at full price, $22. Without that flaw, I probably would have asked for $25 for them. So if you come across American Eagle men's cargo shorts, cargo meaning they have the pockets, you know, on the sides here, whether it's tan, whether it is black, an army green, or camo. Camo's really good. Pick them up if you can get them for like $5 or less because they are a quick flip. Here is something I picked up basically just for its fabric content and its quality. This is a brand called Chance Encounters, which I'd never really heard of before. Wouldn't recommend you even like memorize that brand. But take note of the style of the way the collar is, and then it is made out of lamb's wool and Angora. And actually, oh my gosh, I'm seeing a mistake here. We put cashmere in the title, and it does not have cashmere in it. Oops. So I should have caught that. My listers made a mistake, and I should have caught that. Hopefully the buyer's not going to be upset about that. It looks like in the description we did put the exact material content, but I don't know why we put that in the title. Whoopsies. Well, I will let you know how that goes. But I picked this one up because of its fabric content of lamb's wool and Angora, which is what should have been in the title. Paid $1 for it, had it listed for $25, which is usually about what I can sell a luxury material sweater for. That's like not a brand that people recognize. I can usually sell them for about $25. So I had it listed for $25. I sent out offers to watchers and someone accepted an offer of $22.50. Men's Adidas collar block shirt. I've had this, oh my gosh, I've had this for a long time. I think I paid about $4 for it originally. I'm not even sure at this point. I picked this up because of the color blocking, and I'd never seen an Adidas shirt like this. And Adidas, from my experience, if it's got a spell out and it's kind of cool or funky, it tends to do well, but for whatever reason, this was sitting for a while. So again, I think I paid like $4 for it. Had it listed for $17.99, and I accepted an offer from a buyer for $14.78. I am trying to get into like linens, blankets, throws, things like that, because I'm hearing from a lot of other resellers that I watch on YouTube that are much bigger than me, much bigger sellers and much bigger YouTubers. I'm learning a lot from them, and a lot of them are talking about basically how people overlook the linens department and how it's a really, you know, the best kept secret for resellers because not a lot of people go to that section to source. I'm starting to learn that that's true. So I've been going over there and looking for things to pick up. I paid $7.99 for this Pottery Barn throw, and it was in pretty good condition. It was just made out of, let's see here, acrylic. It was made out of acrylic, so nothing really special. I couldn't remember if it was cotton or acrylic. But because it was Pottery Barn, it had a lot of attention. Had this listed on both eBay and Poshmark and had, you know, watchers and likes on both platforms. Did sit for a few months, but someone sent me an offer for $40.50, which I accepted. I thought that that was a very fair offer. So if you're not currently looking in the linens department, I would say spend like 10 minutes of the first part of your trip to the thrift and just start comping anything you see that looks interesting and get to know some of the different brands and styles that sell, because there is money to be made in that department. So that was it for eBay. Moving on to Poshmark. I gotta tell you, I had a pretty good week with Poshmark. I think my sales almost doubled. I'm attributing that to cross-posting a lot more onto Poshmark. I know I've said in the past that I've tried to use some apps and things like that that offer ways to make cross-posting easier, but I was finding that it was faster to do it myself. Well, I just learned that List Perfectly is now offering that you can cross-post multiple items at one time. So I signed up for that and it has been awesome, and I have been cross-posting like a mad woman. So I might do a video on that, but I think there are currently like a bunch of people putting out content about List Perfectly, so not sure if I will, but if you're not currently checking into that, I definitely would, even if you just get the smallest subscription, which is what I am using right now just to test the waters. But so far I am loving it and it's showing in my sales. So on Poshmark, I sold a total of 9 items last week, which is typically, more than what I typically sell. I sold those 9 items for a gross sales total of $269. And just a reminder, if you're not on Posh, those are just the cost of the items. Shipping is taken care of by the buyer, so that doesn't include any shipping costs. It's basically null and void. We're not acknowledging shipping. That's just what they paid for the item, and that is the gross amount that I'm getting before fees. So with that in mind, a gross sales total of $269, that makes my average sale price $29.89, which is, I haven't been under 30 in a while, I don't think, so that's a little alarming to see it go under, but I am happy to have sold so many items on there. My total cost of goods for all of the items on Poshmark was $33.50. So jumping right in, I sold this Athleta dress. I have been sitting on this for a few months now. I think I had it priced at like $35 and accepted this offer of $30. But it was this Athleta Fair Isle Nordic print dress. I think it was made out of wool. Here we go. No, it was made out of cotton, nylon, and cashmere. And it did have a little spot you can see that I pointed out on this picture here. So even with that, it sold for $30 and I paid $5.99 for it. This is a bra by Victoria's Secret that I picked up at the bin, so I paid roughly $1, probably a little bit less for it because it's super lightweight. I do like picking up Victoria's Secret bras at the bins. I like to keep some bras in my inventory. Even though they don't sell very quickly, they are something I can rely on as bread and butter. So pick this up at the bins, again, about $1. I had it listed, I think, for $15 maybe, and I accepted a best offer of $13. And it's just a Victoria's Secret very sexy push-up bra. If you do feel comfortable sourcing bras, I will say that almost all of Victoria's Secret bras have the style name on the inside, whether it's on the tag or whether it's on the bra itself like this one is. So you can see very sexy push-up. It's almost always on the bra. So if you're looking at, sourcing and listing these, you're not going to make a lot off of it, but if you're getting them at the bins, they're pretty consistent sellers. It's nice to have in your store. Definitely make sure that you include the style name when you comp and also when you list. Also picked this up at the bins a while ago. People at my bins go absolutely nuts when bags, purses, and accessories bin comes out. So I usually kind of stay away from that area. Like I'll dive into clothes and shoes, but I don't really like diving into the handbags because people go absolutely bonkers. So I went after like the frenzy had happened and there were just, maybe half of the people still at that bin. And I noticed that nobody was picking this up, and I think it's kind of overlooked. So Fossil, if you can find their handbags for super cheap, and this one was just like not really anything special. I mean, not made out of like leather or anything like that, but I just thought that it was cute, and it was by Fossil. I think I had it listed for $35 and accepted an offer of $30. I probably paid about, a little under $2 for this, like $150, $175 for this purse, and it sold for $30. So great return on investment if you find Fossil handbags, as long as they're in good condition. I would say pick them up because they, people know that brand, and as long as it's cute, it will sell. This was probably one of my favorite finds ever. It's not bringing me a ton of money, but they're really rare to find, and I didn't think that I would ever find one. I honestly didn't want to get rid of it, but it didn't fit me or anyone that I knew, so I went ahead and listed it. The going rate for this particular one was about $30 to $35, so this is kind of what I expected. After doing research, it wasn't a very like rare polo bear shirt, but if you do find basically anything Polo Bear by Ralph Lauren at a cheap price, I'd say definitely pick it up because they are super popular. So this one was not a more like rare style. I paid $4.29 for it, and I actually, you know what? I think I paid $1.99 for this. My mistake. I think I picked this up at a Goodwill for $1.99. Anyways, it was listed for $35, and I think I accepted a best offer of $32 on this guy. So I have a big backstory on this item. I'm not going to go through the whole story because it's a pretty long one, but basically I had an original listing for this. This is not how I list stuff. There's like no information here, and this is part of a screenshot. So this is not normally how I list items, but I had an original listing for this that was complete, had a lot of watchers on it. Someone sent me an offer of $27, which I accepted because I thought it was fair. And then after they purchased it, they sent me a message that they didn't mean to send $27, they meant to send an offer of $22 and wanted to know how they could cancel. They were having trouble figuring out how to cancel the order. I had to go through and do it for them. Long story short, we went back and forth, and eventually I was able to go ahead and make a new listing, and I just felt so bad for the person because they just couldn't figure it out, and we'd been going back and forth for so long that I decided to go ahead and sell it to them for $22, even though I probably would have countered back had that not happened. So anyways, I had to make a new listing because when you cancel an order, you can't relist it or make it available again. You have to make a new one. So I made a new one in hopes that she was going to follow through and purchase at $22. She did after some time, but this was a big headache. But I'm glad to have a sale, and I'm glad that the buyer's getting something that they're excited about. So I paid probably a little over $2 at the bins for this. This is a baby/toddler snowsuit, but it was kind of heavy because it was really thick, and I wish I could show you like all the pictures, but again, I had to remake this listing. So if you find like baby gear like this that has the Nike spell out and it looks kind of older, I'd say pick it up because I had a lot of interest on my original listing, and I think if you get it for cheap at the bins, that it is worth picking up. I picked up these pair of North Face pants in a North Face lot that I purchased from one of the Goodwills that I go to. I estimate paying between all the items, just evenly divided out, $6. Now, these were probably, besides this and a tank top, this was probably the like lowest quality item I got out of that. I've already made my money back from some of the jackets and things that were in that lot. But these I went ahead and listed just to recoup some of my money back. I wasn't expecting to get a lot for them. I think I had them listed at like 20 or 22, and they're just a like women's crop jogger by the North Face, nothing too special, but that brand can bring buyers' attention and demand money. So I paid $6. Was just trying to get my money back. I accepted an offer of $17 for these. Picked this guy up at a Salvation Army. It is a new attack sweater by Theory, and it's made, oh, let's see, what's it made out of? It is made out of wool and cashmere, so you can kind of see the tag. It was like super faded. It has an original price tag of $275. I picked it up for that reason, but I don't know if you can tell, but like on the collar here, there's discoloration like around the edge of it from where it had been sitting, and I'm gonna guess it was probably in the sun, maybe like through somebody's window or something, but there's a slight discoloration that you can notice when the item's in person. And because of that reason, I decided that I was going to accept an offer of $50. I think I had this listed pretty high at like 80 or 90, but it had been sitting for a while, and because of that flaw, I felt like it was fair to go ahead and sell it at $50. So I accepted that offer. And I think I originally paid $3 for this sweater. This is a blazer by Julia Klein, I believe, and I'm not familiar with her pieces, but I picked it up just because of the Western style that was really in at the time that I picked it up. And I only paid $1.99 for this. It sold on a best offer of $30. And I don't know, I probably wouldn't pick up Western blazers anymore. I like jackets and sweaters and things like that in this print. But blazers, I feel like, are a hard sell, so I was happy to see this one go and get out of my storage. This was one of those gut feeling purchases when I was out sourcing. Let me know if you guys have those in the comments down below. But they're like those pieces that like aren't a great brand or maybe look like an outdated style, but just based on the quality of it, or maybe even the design features, you just know that it will be a high quality item that people are going to want, and that you'll get a lot of attention and be able to sell it for a higher profit than you initially thought you would. This is one of those pieces for me. I paid $6.99 for this, full price for a jacket at one of my Goodwills, and I just knew. I had a gut feeling about it. This is by Anne Klein, which don't usually pick up her pieces. I'll show you the tag here. But I picked it up because it was alpaca mohair. It had a herringbone pattern, which is what this pattern is if you're not familiar. It had surgeon cuffs here, which actually I totally forgot to put in the description. Might have been able to get more for that or have sold it faster. But this peacoat just spoke to me, and I just like saw it, and I knew that it was quality, and I knew that it would sell based on all the key factors that I had going for it. And you can see I had a lot of likes on this, so 20 on here. I don't remember how many I had on eBay, but I know I had a lot of watchers on eBay for this too. This sold for full price at $45, so I was really happy with that. So sometimes you've got to go with your gut, even if you think that, you know, the brand isn't something you would normally pick up. If it's got a lot of key factors going for it and you feel good about it, I would say go ahead and pick it up and give it a shot. So that was the last of the Poshmark sales. In total for both platforms, my gross sales total was $1,165.18. My total cost of goods for all of the items mentioned in this video was a total of $145.50. Alright guys, that is it for my sales from last week. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Let me know how your sales are going down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.